Hello and thank you for joining the Thursday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele. Today on the program, Zamfara State Governor sacks 2 emirs and district head over alleged involvement in banditry as soldiers kills self after being discovered to be Boko Haram ISWAP collaborator. I'll be hanging out with Paul Dada and Asuko James while Babajide Kolade Utitoju will join us from Borno State. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. Let's begin in Borno State, where Governor Samuel Ortom has ordered the immediate arrest of leaders of the hunters and forest security guards accused of forcefully shaving a lady's hair. In a statement by his chief press secretary, Nathaniel Ikio, the governor said the group has no link with its administration, adding that his government will no longer condone injustice and inhuman acts by any group. Those are opposed to the creation of state police and, what have you. They've always been expressing fear about this so-called, that it might be hijacked for different purposes and everything. So these paramilitary groups, paramilitary organizations we have across the states. Did you see that video, Asuko?
Yeah, I did, and it was one of the most inhuman videos I've ever seen, in recent times, apart from the other ones. No matter what our offenses, because what we heard was that because our hair was dyed in a different color. So you now wonder if, for instance, it was a white man who had blonde, would they tell the white man to sit down and then they want to shave? So they went overboard doing what they were not supposed to do, because vigilantes are supposed to help and assist in trying to gather information as an intelligence gathering to help the troops in curtailing the insecurity that is in that state. That is what they are meant to do. If they are supposed to help the police in doing that, they are not supposed to go ahead and begin to do things that are not meant for their... In fact, cutting of someone's hair is nobody's business. If I want to turn my hair into Dada, sorry, I'm not saying Paul Dada this time, to dreadlocks, you understand? It is my business. It is my personal business. If I want to turn it to any color, red, green, blue, it is my own personal business. So because that is the same thing. Ayo, don't forget, police brutality, when the NSAS thing came, it was the same thing that they were saying that police were arresting them because they were on dreadlocks, they were wearing sagged jeans and all that. And then once you see anybody sagging, you think he's a Yahoo boy. You don't even know why the person is sagging. Maybe the person has boil. You understand? So you just assume that because somebody is sagging, then from there is a Yahoo boy. Then you see somebody who is carrying dreadlocks. You don't know if he's a musician. You just assume he's a... And then before you know, you brutalize the person. That was how police started. Now we are now moving from police into vigilantes. Vigilantes that are supposed to be to assist this police in gathering information for them to be able to nip the insecurity in the bud. Look at the lady. They brought her down and started shaving. If, for instance, they now injured her?
I don't know.
Because look at the way they were doing it angrily. And they were, of course. It is, I don't understand, where this country is going to. Because it is a simple thing. The lady will tell you, okay, I died, I actually died, but if, for instance...
rights was violated.
Completely. So I want to believe that apart from what the governor has said, that they have washed their hands off this matter, human rights activists, lawyers, civil society organizations should be able to take these hunters and sue them so that it will serve as a deterrent to others.
Is this the responsibility of this paramilitary organization that are meant to fortify security and to help the state ward off herdsmen?
Definitely not. Government has disowned them. Benue State government says they are an illegal group. But my question is, are they just knowing of their existence? why is it now that they are saying that they are an illegal group? These people even have patrol vehicles. They were so audacious to cause traffic on the road, and yet government, the Benue State government is just denying them now. They dehumanized a lady. In fact, they don't even have the right to do anything to a suspect. Although citizens, there's something called citizen arrest. When you arrest somebody for an alleged crime, you hand over the person to the police. If I thought that lady did anything wrong, of course, she didn't do anything wrong, apparently. What you do is to hand over that person to the police. But, like Asuko said, they learned this from the police. Because we've seen police brutalize people unnecessarily. Somebody is wearing dreadlocks, you harass the person. Somebody is carrying a laptop, maybe on Okada. Then you begin to open your laptop. You don't even have the right. You don't have the right to check somebody's phone. You don't have the right to check someone's laptop, except you have a warrant. Many people don't know this. So it is what we have. It is the character of law enforcement and security agencies in this country, and it's a very bad one. It is something that must stop. Wearing the uniform does not mean that you are a terrorist or you should be spreading terror. It's supposed to be a service.
Okay, let me take you over to Borno State where Papa Jide Kolade is joining us. Thank you, Jide. Thank you for joining us. What do you make of this action by the paramilitary organization in Benue?
We've seen soldiers behave in this manner. We've seen soldiers beat people up for wearing dreadlocks. We've seen them shave people's hair for having dreadlocks. But it's such a huge surprise that hunters, vigilante people, because vigilantes are largely volunteers. It's not as if government hire them. They don't even pay them. Mostly, they are not like civilian JTF, for example, who are on a monthly stipend from Borno State government. Vigilantes are volunteers. They volunteer to protect their areas. I guess that's why the governor said they are not officials of government. And if government provided you vehicles to aid your work in appreciation of what you do in terms of securing the state, that doesn't then mean that you should abuse the privilege that you have been given, because this is a clear case of abuse of privilege. And I wouldn't be surprised if at the time they were doing this, they were either drunk or were high on illicit drug. Because what will make you stop a woman? She dyed her hair like a blonde, just the color of ginger. It is what a lot of women like to wear. It is the color that a lot of women wear. Even our own Sarah Yeku hair, I always call her ginger haired, you know, because she likes to dye her hair in the color of ginger. But it does not mean that a woman should be molested just because she chose to dye her hair. These are a bunch of very responsible people who deserve to be put in the slammer. The examples have to be made out of these undesirable elements. They are meant to confront headsmen who are killing people. Out of 23 local governments in Benue State, only 5 are safe. There's so much work that they can do in those local governments that are not safe. That's why they should channel their energy instead of harassing innocent guests. They're just a bunch of fools. And government needs to descend heavily on them to serve as deterrent to others. I'm happy that the governor has ordered the arrest, and we want to see what happens after the arrest.
So on the final note, these guys, we have them across not only Benue states, but some states that they are empowered. Some of them carry out arrests. Some of them they go overboard in performing their responsibilities.
I think these with this action, this kind of action, government should begin to look at what are the terms of reference for these people. Because if, for instance, you say, okay, these guys, because look at those guys, they have guns. In fact, from the report, they even harassed and stopped motorists, you know. So, and why motorists would have stopped is because they were carrying guns.
I'm sure nobody,
they were harmed.
I'm sure the government did not approve that gun.
Well, if the governor is washing his hands off, it means
not governor.
You know,
government,
the
federal government
yes, of course. So because even you know they have vigilante group of Nigeria,
yes,
you know, which is an organized body.
Yes.
So it means that even carrying of that guns means that they've been licensed to carry the guns. But carrying it up and down and trying to harass innocent people should be stopped. So this should serve as a means for which government will be able to determine this is where your power stops and this is where it starts. Okay.
The sale of forms for various elective offices by the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, has begun. Hence, the battle for tickets is on. Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, has become the first APC presidential aspirant to purchase the party's expression of interest and nomination form for 100 million naira. In a statement by the Director of Media and Publicity of the Yahaya Bello campaign organization, Jemi Kolapo, she assured his teaming supporters that the name will be on the ballot paper for the 2023 presidential election. Let's hear Governor Yahaya Bello.
On behalf of the National Chairman and members of the NWC, I want to present you the nomination form which is said 40 million, I mean 70 million, and the expression of interest form which I have paid 30 million for it. Therefore, on behalf of the National Chairman,
right now, what we have ahead of us is a task of canvassing and consulting all party faithfuls, leaders, stalwarts, delegates, members, and even all Nigerians from our home and across in diaspora to give us a support, to support us so that we become the flag bearer of this great party come 30th and 31st of May 2023. And by the special grace of God, I am confident that I shall become victorious and the party shall become victorious in general by the grace of God. Thank you.
Your Excellency, you said Nigerians are happy.
As we call him the White Lion, and he blazed the trail and he went for that ticket as a nomination expression fee.
It's good that it's the first
100 million naira.
Yes, you know, everybody has been complaining about the amount, you know, which APC actually set for their nomination form, especially the presidency, and it's like they don't even want to listen. Even with the people we are thinking that, oh, this is still 100 million, people are still coming back and saying that they have interest. So you'll be looking at, and people are saying there's poverty in Nigeria. 100 million is not small money, Ayo. So you understand? So when people come out and say, oh, they want to be president and they want to buy 100 million naira form, Ayo, it shows that there is money in this country. The White Lion has bought his own now. Don't forget the Minister of State for Education has also bought his own. Okay? And people are already complaining. So many groups today, I can't count the number of groups that have written complaining that students are at home and then the Minister of State for Education is buying nomination form worth 100 million.
But we said yesterday that the man before becoming a minister is a man of means.
Yes, we know that he's a man of means.
That is not serving as minister, that he was made already.
You know, these few days, I have sat down to look at Nigeria. It's like some people are just doing things without conscience. And it is really bad. It is really, really bad. That students will be home and the Minister of State for Education will be buying nomination form to become president, and then other ministers who have things to do to make sure that the country moves forward, they are going to buy they are moving up and down now, doing consultation, meeting delegates and all that, but their ministry is suffering. Well, we wish them luck.
Now, Governor Yahaya Bello is from the North Central. The chairman of that party is from North Central. A lot of people will say that the odds are against him, but he's still trudging on.
I very much think that the odds are against him. He's one of the at least 15 aspirants you have in the APC. And the thinking is that the presidency will go to the south. That's the general thinking. But he is there, the first person to buy the form. He's talking with confidence. I don't know where he got his confidence from. But for me, I think he's not likely to get it. But this man is very serious. You know, his tenure as governor ends in 2024, January. So he's ready to throw that away. Of course, if he does not win, he can still, he's not an appointee, he's an elected person. But personally, I do not see Yahaya Bello winning that primary. I do not see him winning.
That's your own opinion.
That's my own opinion. Yes, that's my opinion. I'm supposed to express, express my opinion.
It will be left for the delegates of APC.
But I give it to him. He's confident against all odds, against what a lot of pundits will say. So let us see whether he's going to pull some magic. You know. Okay,
Jide.
But it's doubtful, very, very doubtful.
Governor Yahaya Bello and the Minister of State for Education blazed the trail in terms of obtaining the party form, 100 million naira for the #1 seat.
See, I would have been surprised if the White Lion didn't go ahead to buy the form. He is one of the earliest to join the race. He had been talking about becoming president for over a year now. And no one can say that, oh, I'm surprised that he eventually bought the form. Do you know how much effort he has invested moving around, receiving people, mobilizing young people because of his interest in the presidential race? So he can't now get to the point when you need to buy the form to validate your interest. That is after he declared at Eagle Square. It was the first Eagle Square that he wants to be president of Nigeria. No man would do all of that. Receive all of the people that has been receiving, footballers, actors and actresses and the rest. And then time will come to buy the form, then he will not buy form. Nobody does that now. So I'm not surprised that he has finally bought the form after formally declaring his interest at Eagle Square. So he keeps saying that it is the turn of the North Central to produce the president of this country. That is what Yahaya Bello has been saying for some time now. Whether he will get the support that he desperately needs to win the primaries, whether he will be able to achieve a miracle, only time will tell. As time will determine who eventually will win that ticket. People are talking about Jonathan. People are talking about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Some are talking about the VP. Some are already supporters of those aspirants are abusing one another. But clearly, in my view, the supporters who are abusing one another are people who choose not to think. Because politicians have a way of coming together. Now, if you are hitting your heads against the wall because of politicians, it means that you still have a lot of thinking to do. So the race has officially begun. We will be expecting, even the former governor of Ogun State, he too has declared his interest. So more and more people are coming out in the next 1 or 2 weeks, we'll see a lot more people coming out. We'll see even Asiwaju himself officially declaring, because he has gone to Mecca now to seek the face of God and to officially tell God that he wants to contest. So his own declaration will be after he has sought the face of God and prayed about it. So these are interesting days. For us as journalists, ours is simply to look at what's going on and continue to be on top of the situation. We are not, ours is not to take sides, to say this is my candidate, this one will win, that one will not win. Time is what will decide who will eventually win. Those who are saying Mr. President is favoring this person, is favoring that person, time will show us whether indeed Mr. President has people that is favoring. Time will show us whether after the APC told us that the primaries will be by, what's it called, indirect, whether it is consensus that they will do at the end of the day. Again, time will tell. But congratulations to Yahaya Bello. He appears to be dogged and determined, but it is the members of the APC, card-carrying members of the APC, accredited delegates of the APC, who will determine whether he is the one who will become the standard bearer of the party in the presidential election. So we can only watch and see what happens in the coming days.
Okay, I have Kenneth. Kenneth is calling us from Benin in Edo State. Thank you for joining us, Kenneth.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Kenneth.
Thank you. How is everything going over there?
Very well, thank you.
All right. The issue of the nomination form of 100 million, I don't know what is wrong with the country. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go on.
You are live.
Hello?
You are on, please go on. Kenneth.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello?
Oh, Kenneth. Okay. Well, as we go, now, looking at it's like harvest time for the APC. Just look at 100 million naira and the people we've seen so far. So if over 10 people come together.
That is almost $1 billion.
That's a billion. 100 million. And I'm sure from my counting, from my rough estimates, there are going to be more than, 15. At the end of the day, close to 20. Yeah, not forgetting that
we have governorship too.
The former, yes, we have, of course. That's another kidder. The former governor of Ogun State, that Senator Ebikulu Amusu, the senator representing Ogun Central, has indicated that on the 5th of May, he's going to declare officially. And the chairman of the Governors Forum, John Kaide Fayemi, JKF from Ekiti State, the incumbent, he has been consulting. That so hoping that after the fasting period that he too is expected to declare.
So I know the president once told them, I think it was during the NEC meeting, that the party, the NWC, will have to find a way to make money for themselves, as in fund the secretariat. So I think this is a way of trying to fund the secretariat, rather than going cap in hand
and weeding out on serious aspirants.
Yes,
because if you are not really serious, to cough out 100 million naira
is not a main fit at all. Of course, now. So I want to believe that everybody that is signifying interest, they already have their game plan. Whether they want to just buy the form for them to consolidate on whatever they will get from the incoming president is left for them to know. But the thing is, it is more money for the NWC.
All right. We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll discuss more. It's still Journalist Hangout. We'll be right back after this time. In case you're just joining us, you're right on time. For Journalist Hangout, I have Vasuko James and Paul that are with me, and Jide is somewhere in Borno State and joining us via Skype. Paul, now we've seen that, look, it's going to be the business of delegates. Yep. At the end of the day, over 7,000 delegates, and they're trying to mop up their delegates list. And meanwhile, the national, the neck of the party has handed over emergency powers to the NWC of the party. They will be able to take absolute decisions and do some other things. And they fixed on the 30th to the 1st of June. Yes. That's back to back. It can go, if they decide to go on the indirect primaries, they can go for 2 days trying to sort out who becomes the candidate of the All Progressive Congress.
Yes, yes, definitely. And they have to get that done because June 3rd is the
final date for
the final date. You can't
submission.
If you don't submit before
so you must submit, they must get a winner.
You must get it. If you don't submit before then you don't have a candidate, and I'm sure they are not going to gamble with that. Well, whoever is going to emerge to get the ticket must be able to be in the good books of the governors, because the governors control the delegates. That's they have already opted for indirect primary, except
that's if they don't go for consensus.
That's what I'm saying. If it does not change, if it does not change, so they have to. The governors, all of us know that the governors are a bloc, a very strong. In fact, they are like a cult. They largely hold.
Will they want one of them to emerge?
Well, we keep hearing all sorts. You know, we keep hearing all sorts. But we can't tell yet, because we know that there are governors who have pitched their support for certain aspirants. For example, we know that the governor of Lagos State is Asiwaju. We know that the governor of Kano State is with Asiwaju. Governor of Ogun State has declared support for the vice president. Some other governors, they will tell us clearly where they belong. But it's who has the greatest, the best structure, who is able to win over, reach out to anybody who's going to be a president must definitely be able to get the support of majority of the governors. Because when we talk about delegates, we are talking of governors. Because governors determine who represent their states as delegates. Indirect primary is supposed to be the people in the state, the party members in the state electing the delegates. But we know that it's actually governors that determine these things.
Juliet, some people will tend to disagree with Paul that in the sense that, look, that some states in Nigeria that, you know, they don't have APC governors. And those states, the delegates might be a battleground for these aspirants.
Yes, of course. Those states are up for grabs. You know, some states like Adamawa, Taraba, APC has not got governors in those places. You know, states like Oyo and the states of the southeast. The states of the southeast definitely will see a tough battle amongst the governors. Those are hunting grounds. You know, they will just simply go to those places to look for people who vote for them. And in some states like Kano, Katsina, you know, it's a very straightforward thing. We know who the delegates are, the party is in control in those states. But for those states that the APC has not produced governors, the battle is going to be keen in those places. And I can tell you that some candidates are already gaining ground in some of those states. Already the structures of the APC in those states are already with some of these aspirants. So everyone is just waiting to see the way the contest will shape up, the decision that the NWC will make. If people are trying to bring in, are still desperate to bring in Jonathan, it means that some of them have not given up on the matter of consensus, because I don't see how Jonathan can win a flat-out contest, you know, an indirect or direct primary election in a party that he had not been in for years, because he's an outsider. He doesn't have structures. He doesn't have a strong supporter. So the only way by which someone like Jonathan can emerge is by consensus. If people are eroded, people are forced to adopt him. But a lot of these aspirants are working hard. They are traveling to the states to see how many delegates, potential delegates, they can earn. And they all have the delegates list as we speak. Every day they are looking at the delegates list and imagine.
That's the Bible now.
That's the Bible.
Yes. Projecting amongst themselves who and who can defeat them, who and who they would defeat, you know, in those states. So when you talk to their handlers, they will tell you, look, we are confident that in Katsina we can win. We are confident that in Kano we can win. We've seen the delegates list. We know those who will vote. So, and we've been working hard to get those people on our side. So it's a very, very interesting contest that we are going to see if the leaders of the party, including Mr. President, allow us to see an indirect primary and not try to force the consensus arrangement on everyone. If it's a straight contest, then it will be very interesting, just as interesting as what we witnessed in 2014 when President Buhari emerged. And I'm sure that if it was put to vote today, an overwhelming majority of APC members will say that it is the indirect primaries that they want. The delegates can't wait for indirect primaries. That is the time when they make money. Dollars will come their way at that time. So they can't wait. But if it were to be a consensus arrangement, a lot of them will go back home empty-handed. That's not what they want to see. They want to see a contest where the most popular of the aspirants will emerge. It's easy to rally support around a popular choice. Where someone is not popular, where you literally force people to accept someone, it will be difficult to rally the party around that kind of person as a candidate. So I wish the APC leaders luck. I wish them the wisdom that they desire at this time to make the right choice, to make the right decision that will shape the future of the party.
It's going to be interesting.
Yes, very, very interesting.
In the month of May, for both parties, I think the People's Democratic Party, they've already fixed theirs on the 29th of May.
28th and
29th. And we're going to have the APC from the 30th.
I'm also wondering, what of other political parties? Because
we are not even hearing about them.
The country has gravitated, or is fast gravitating towards the famous two-party states. Yes, we have other political parties, but you know,
because
there are some parties you don't get to hear about until election. You wonder what they are doing.
They don't have the kind of war chest, and they don't have the kind of followership that the APC.
So they should just leave Twitter, go outside and talk to people.
Oh, they should leave Twitter.
Yes.
All right, and finally, there's rumble in Zamfara State over festering insecurity in the northeast states. Governor Bello Matawalle has dethroned two traditional rulers, the Emir of Zumi, Abubakar Atiku, and that of Dansadao, Hussaini Umar, as well as the district head of Benin Saba, Suleiman Ibrahim, for alleged involvement in banditry. Meanwhile, a Nigerian soldier, Lance Corporal John Jubril, shot and killed himself after he was arrested for aiding the Islamic States of West African province, ISWAP. I had always known that we have fifth columnists. The way these people, they have information, they give them information, and the way they ambush our soldiers, the way they carry some brazen attacks, and the way they even go to our super camp. You know, it takes guts. It takes, you know, you knowing what is happening inside before you can just stand up and say you want to go and face soldiers in a super camp.
You know, it's good that this is happening, so people get to know that even their so-called traditional rulers are in bed with these bandits and terrorists.
Because of the money involved.
Because of the, you know, the thing is, and this ISWAP and Boko Haram terrorists that you are seeing, they are getting funds from somewhere. And if they are going to dangle their carrots to all these traditional rulers, it will be the small naira and kobo that we are talking about good money that will make them want to sell their people. That is what it means, even kill their people, because anybody that is involved in banditry means that the person, at the end of the day, one way or the other, people will die. Lives will be lost, you know. So, and these guys, they were suspended since last year. There was a committee that was set up by the Zamfara state governor, you know, to look at what is really happening. That
means they've carried out their findings.
Yes, it was even the former Inspector General of Police that headed that committee, Mohammed Abubakar. And he came out, 30 traditional rulers were actually indicted in that report. You know, so this
community thing.
You know, so this, you understand, when you have 30 traditional rulers that were indicted, then it means that it's now becoming a business.
Yes, it's festering.
You know, so picking two and deposing them means they are the worst of the worst. So even when I was asking, and I knew when the governor was giving the Cadillac, you know, there was some weeks back, the governors actually gave Cadillac to some traditional rulers.
Yeah.
In some Emirates, you know, they have like 17. So 15 we are giving. So these two we are not giving, but their district heads we are giving cars. You know, to encourage them. Maybe those are the ones that are free from this banditry and giving the right information. We need to start talking and looking at even the people that we call our brothers and our sisters, our fathers, our mothers. They might be part and parcel of this.
People that are not worthy to be role models.
Of course. Do we still have role models? You should start asking. See, this country, sometimes you look at yourself and say, can we still call some people role models? There are some people that when we see them, they are like gods to us. Before, when we see Awolowo, like the Babajide used to say when he was young, because then I was not born anyway, you would tell me that when the day he saw Awolowo, that he was very small, because he was like a god to him. You know, so, but these days, can our children even see the people they are seeing on TV and call them gods? They will just sit there and even want to give them a high five and then move away. You know, but those days, the likes of Baba, he can tell us here. You know, so traditional rulers that we respect are the ones that are causing problems for us. Look at Zamfara now. Some people cannot even stay there. We now have so many IDP camps across Nigeria, or most part of Nigeria, especially the north. Because of
how will traditional leaders rulers be in bed with bandits and terrorists begins your own people? As in, you know that these guys, they will not allow peace and tranquility in that environment. And you can't collaborate with them to exploit your people?
It's really bothersome and mind-boggling also. Because as a traditional ruler, you hold the trust of the people. And then you are the one betraying the people. Under your authority, in your domain, people are being kidnapped, killed. And released for ransom. Well, it goes to show that there is something that these bandits are dangling before these traditional rulers. But whatever they are giving them, whatever carrots they are serving them, is a poisoned one. Because I don't know how those people think. Because it's your subjects. It's your subject they are arresting. It's your subject they are kidnapping.
And so killing.
I think the time has even come for people to start doing security checks on people that are being appointed or installed as emirs. It's very important for traditional rulers generally, state government to start doing security checks on some of those people, because they are in cahoots. Some of them they are not good people. They are not good people. Now, another thing is, well, it does not come as a surprise, because we've heard it before, that there are bandits or terrorism sympathizers in government. A former president said it, that Boko Haram is in my government. Mm-hmm. Niger State government has said it. It said that there were people in government that were sympathetic towards the bandits. So I'm not surprised that there are traditional rulers that are doing this. I'm not surprised that there's a district head or there are district heads. Now, I hope these people have been sufficiently grilled and they have given information to the law enforcement agencies that can lead to the arrest of other people, other conspirators, other people that are in bed with these bandits. Not only that, I expect that, of course, they are being taken to the court now. They were hidden somewhere before.
Yeah, today.
Yes, they're taken to the court. I expect more revelations to come during their prosecution. And I expect more people to be prosecuted.
Maybe in the charge sheet we'll get more facts.
Exactly.
Jide, what do you make of these shameless traditional rulers in bed with bandits and terrorists?
You know, it's a big problem. It's a big problem. There was a traditional ruler in Zamfara state who gave a chieftaincy title to a bandit. And the governor was really mad. And he quickly removed that district head. How do you give a traditional title to a bandit? That means that you support what the bandit is doing. That means you see the bandit as someone who deserves to be honored. You see him as an elevated human being. Because it is people that we place highly that we give traditional titles to. So if a district head gives traditional title to a bandit, that says a lot about the mindset of that district head. That should tell us that that district head likes to hang out with people like bandits. Those are the people who are his friends. Those are the people that he thinks of all the people in his domain. Those are the people who deserve, in his own view, to be honored. And if we look at the issue of banditry in Zamfara state, Dansadao and Zurumi are among the worst hits. They have killed people so many times in those two local governments. The Nigerian Air Force Alpha jet that was shot down inside the Dansadao forest. So those areas are known and for a huge presence of bandits. And bandits literally even destroyed many parts of Zurumi because they will come attack people and set their houses on fire. There was a time that Zurumi was always in the news. In fact, there were some twin sisters who were going to get married were kidnapped in that Zurumi. People had to pay ransom before they were released. So it's unfortunate that a governor has to battle not just bandits, but people in high places who are the enablers of these bandits and traditional rulers of all people. So it's such a shame. We can only encourage the governor to continue to try to identify these people, because people knew all along that these guys could not have been this bold without some powerful people supporting them. And this is what we have seen. They get paid some money by these bandits. So the emirs turn a blind eye. But they should remember that some of their own colleagues, fellow emirs, have been kidnapped by bandits. The emir of Bungudu in the same Zamfara state was kidnapped by bandits. along the Kaduna Abuja highway. So people are even attacking your own colleagues. They are the people that you are fraternizing with. It's such a shame. It's such a shame. But that should tell us that there is a lot more work to do. We are, as for what happened in respect of the soldier, I am not surprised, because the Nigerian army has said in the past that there were saboteurs within its ranks. In fact, there was a time that some arrests were made in respect of that. It's terrible that some people are laying down their lives to keep all of us safe, whereas there are some of their own colleagues who are giving information to the enemy and making life difficult for patriotic soldiers. People who are giving information about troops movement to the enemy, enabling the enemy to plan ambushes and kill our soldiers and steal their weapons. So we need to pursue the line of intelligence gathering so that we can continue to identify more and more of these people. Although I find it difficult to believe the story of how the soldier eventually died, because I'm still wondering how someone who was handcuffed will now still disarm the people who arrested him and then take his own life. That part of the story seems very, very difficult to believe, and I just hope that the Nigerian army will throw more light on this, because I don't see how somebody who had been arrested, handcuffed, was being taken away, will now overpower trained soldiers who are taking him to a location where he will be detained, will overpower them and then eventually kill himself. It's a very difficult side of that story to believe, but whatever we do that enables us to unmask all these saboteurs should be commended, and it has to continue across the armed forces, whether they are policemen or not, who are collaborating with armed robbers. We need to fish them out and serve justice to them.
As we were talking about Cockaboo story, but let's take Biodu calling us from Ikorodu. Thank you, Biodu.
Hello.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for joining us, Biodu.
Yeah, this is Abiodun on the line from Ikorodu.
All right, go ahead, please.
Yeah, about the October duly observed, Babajide and the rest of the press in the studio. A lot of respect to you people. You are doing a great job.
Thank you.
About the bandits and the Emir collaborating with the bandits, to me, there is a conspiracy theory I want to observe about that. I think there is a two way to the coin. To me, this can only happen in two ways. It's either they are sympathetic about their tribe. The Nigerian government should look deeply in each state this terrorist issue is happening. They have to observe what is really happening. Are these terrorists, are these bandits?
Thank you, Biodu. Thank you for your submission. My time is fast spent. Lance Corporal Jubrin shot and killed himself. And that's what Jude is trying to say, that somebody handcuffed. But the bottom line is that now we are getting to the root of it, that we have evidence that, look, these people, that some people giving information
of course,
sabotage
so, yeah, it
the
means
effort
that
of the military.
The Nigerian army needs to start profiling those who are around them. You know, they are going for any operation, anybody passes any information, they need to profile. Those who are even within them going out, they also need to check them.
Part of that.
Yeah, the story says that the man, the Lance Corporal, also implicated some other persons. So we want to know who
Should not be swept under the carpet.
Yeah, of course.
All right, let me start by thanking Babajide all the way from Borno State. I didn't know that Jide is let's go to Borno State again. Jide, I thought you saw yesterday.
Yes.
You know, you say Jack Robinson, Jide is off. Okay.
Thank God for technology.
Thank you for your contribution. Anyway, Paul Dada, thank you for your contribution. And the pirated one. Asuko James.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 and join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzuba. See you by 1:30 on Sunday.